End of discussion. Had a TED talk with the higher me, show me how to run it.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Browns and the Hawks, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Cleveland Browns taking on the NFC champions. It's finally time for the main event here in 2025. Away we go in Super Bowl 59. Anthony Schwartz going to bring it out. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And a short pickup to about the 25.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what... They've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away.
39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And you know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handle winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things, and then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team their best chance to win.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Walker now on 1st and 10. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson rolling to his left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is caught. Touchdown. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Browns drive about to get started. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A give running right is Chubb. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw is Watson. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try to find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. A gain of 3, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And he's not going to get to the marker. And that's a turnover on downs. Boy, that's asking a lot of your punt team there, and they were not able to deliver.
It's asking an awful lot of the punt team there because if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 3, you've got a chance, right? That's a manageable distance to try and pick up when you're running a fake, but when that number's actually been in the weight room and it's pumped up like it was, that's difficult to do, all right? So you might even think to yourself, if I left my offense on the field, would they be able to pick that up? You could run a nice play and not get that distance.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And Walker once more. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
2nd and 8. And now Jackson will look to throw it. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the 2nd quarter. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Running left is Walker. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. It's Jackson. This will be caught just inside the 10.
And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
A 4-yard gain brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Walker. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Wants to try to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. After the touchdown, wants to kick it off.
Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10
at their own 23.
He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Faking the give. Now Watson. Rolling to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked on by Mike Hughes. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. I know it appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Browns are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Shedding the tackle, and it gives him some room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Watson on 1st down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to let it go again. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears won't realize as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, and that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air. New York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
At their own 13-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. They run again with Walker. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Second and 16. Up the middle, here's Walker. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 59 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has three options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. This is fielded at the 27. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Now, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on fourth down. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
They run again on first down, Chubb. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Browns are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point by York is up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Walker. And he stopped immediately there. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson. Left side here, that's the tight end Fan. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And Walker with it over the middle. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. The play fake. Here's Jackson. And he'll throw this one away. But I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. We saw it too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Throwing is Jackson. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Jackson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. The kick by Lutz is good, and they take a 17-14 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game. And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game. The Browns drive about to get started. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's taken to the 26. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. So it's halftime here on Sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
Back to Walker on first down. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Shaw. So pass interference the call, and that does not look to be going over too well on the defensive side.
Or on their sideline, because I believe their head coach is saying right now, hey, you've got to call that both ways.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On second down, it's Walker. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
I would think as a play caller, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
Jackson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now to the ground, here's Walker. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 87 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the 3, 2nd and a yard. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Ken Walker, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And again, it's Chubb. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st down, it's Watson. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick six here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. It's a room to maneuver. An entire season coming down to this next quarter. 3 in the books here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back at their own 17. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Play action. Now Jackson steps away. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. first kick 47. This one looks good as well. And it's fielded at the 34. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10. Right at the 50-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Seahawks are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Now Watson. Forced out to his left. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing again is Watson. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 16, Jackson. He'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Jackson now. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll get a couple up to the 29. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On third down, Jackson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And we're at the time of the Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Now a first down throw, Watson. Right back to Njoku. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. On first down, Watson. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Watson looks to throw again. This will be caught at about the 5. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. And Chubb will try the middle here. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may write a finish to this Super Bowl. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Well, I'm guessing that on the sidelines there might be a few words said about that mistake there, but I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, they got the two-score cushion, but you know what coaches say, Charles? Finish strong.
Finish the game out the way it's supposed to be.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down.
Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth.